Hey, everybody. I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're working hard, but still having lots of fun. I decided that I am going to teach you how to tell time. I mean, I know we know the days of the week, but it's important to know what time it is, even without your little watch that you have. Some of you have watches that tell you 5:37, but it's important to know how to tell time on those big giant clocks that are on your wall too. So we're going to watch a little video and then we're going to make our own clock so that we can practice. So we're going to watch a video together first, and then we'll practice a little bit with our new clock that we're going to make. So here we go. This little guy is going to...
Also 12 men.
Oh, let's go back to the beginning here. Come on, little guy. All right, walk with me.
It's learning time today, and today we're learning to tell time. I said it's learning time today, and today we're learning to tell time. There's a time to walk and a time to run, a time for work and a time for fun.
But only if your chores are done.
Haha, that's right. We have sad times and happy times, and times for making up cool rhymes. It's learning time today, and today we're learning to tell time. Hi there, I'm Timothy Time, the clock that rocks.
Cuckoo! And don't forget me!
That's right, this is my friend Cuckoo, and we're here to teach you all about time. Yeah! If you look at the clock and listen to my rhyme, then you can learn the parts from me, Timothy Time. The face of the clock is where the numbers stay. In their special places, every second of the day. The 12 is at the top, and the 6 is at the bottom. Every time you look, that's where you will spot them. The 9 is on the left, and the 3 is on the right. The other numbers fit between in a circle. Let's recite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Running round the face are at least 2 hands. The short one moves most slowly as the hour demands. 'Cause the short hand is the hour hand. He's so slow I could slumber. He takes a whole hour just to reach each number. The long hand is the minute hand. She moves a little faster. Every 5 minutes, she gets a number past her. Some clocks have another hand that speeds around the face. This thin one is the second hand. Now pump up the bass. Yeah, pump up the bass. Pump it up now. Ooh, ooh. Come on.
Okay, calm down.
Oh, sorry, Cuckoo. I guess I lost track of time.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Speaking of time, now you know the parts of the clock that you read. In order to tell time, a clock is what you need. Let's start out easy. Telling time to the hour, I'll teach you a cool trick that will give you the power. When you see the minute hand pointed straight at the top, it's on the number 12, so say the word o'clock. Next, check out out the number the hour hand points to. Then put that number with a clock. That's all you have to do. Let's try a few examples. Just take a look at these and say them out loud as quickly as you please. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Now let's try some other clocks, like ones that you might see, so you get some more practice. Say these times with me. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Some of you have noticed something a little strange. It seems we have 2 of each hour in each day. The first 12 o'clock comes when it is night. This is 12 a.m. and also 12 midnight. 12 hours later, it is noon or 12 p.m. Let's look at some examples now and join along with them. 8 o'clock a.m.
Is the start of my school day.
4 o'clock p.m.
Is the time for friends to play.
12 o'clock p.m.
Is the time to eat some lunch.
7 o'clock p.m.
Is when my dinner gets munched.
I go to bed.
9 o'clock p.m.
Is when I need to be in bed.
2 o'clock p.m.
Is when I think of what my teacher said.
5 o'clock p.m.
Is when I do homework and chores.
10 o'clock a.m.
Is when they open most stores.
Since 1 whole hour has 60 minutes, half an hour has only 30 minutes in it. If you start on the hour and go halfway around, the minute hand will be on the 6, hanging upside down. Now you might ask, where will the shorthand be? I can tell you now, it's quite easy. The hour hand will be halfway in between 2 of the numbers, somewhere round the ring. Whichever of the numbers the hour hands just passed is the one you say out loud, with 30 at the last.
Well then, show us how to do it.
Okay, don't get your feathers ruffled. 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30.
Okay, Timothy. So when I hear people say it's 7:30, does that mean that the minute hand is on the 6 and that it's 7:30?
Wow, Cuckoo, you catch on really fast. They say half past because the hour hand has traveled halfway past the number before it. Let's look at some more clocks. Read the times on these clocks with me. 8:30 or 8:30. 12 12 o'clock.
2:30.
2:30 or 2:30. 11:30 or 11:30. 9 o'clock.
1:30.
1:30 or 1:30. 7:30 or 7:30. 10:30 or 10:30. 6 o'clock. 3:30 or 3:30. Now you're using your brain power, telling time to the half hour.
Good job, guys. All right, we're going to stop the video right there, and we're going to make a clock together so that we can practice. And the clock is going to be pretty fancy. And then if you want to watch the video later with your parents to finish the video, because there's some extra steps in there, then you can do that, okay? Okay, so the supplies that you're going to need for our clock are 2 paper plates, a glue stick, a Sharpie or a marker, some construction paper so we can cut out some little hands, a brad if your parents don't know what a brad is, or if you don't have a brad at home, then you can just leave the hands off of your clock and just move them with your fingers. You're going to need scissors and probably a pencil, okay? So let's get started. All right, so I've got my 2 paper plates here. I'm going to turn them this way. I've already started my clock a little bit. So I'm going to have my 2 paper plates like this. First step is you want to glue them together, but you're only going to put glue on the center part, not around the outside, okay? So only on the center. So let me do that real quick. And maybe my purple glue will show up to show you where you're supposed to be gluing. Okay, so see my purple, oh, maybe you can see purple glue in the center there. And we're gonna put the other plate right on top. Stick it together. So it's stuck together now. Both plates are stuck together. You still want to have them flapped out on the outside around, okay? Okay, so then your top plate, that's where we're going to write our numbers. The first number that goes on the very top, what number was that? It's always going to be 12 o'clock on the very top. What number goes on the very bottom? Who remembers that? 6. Nice job. I know you guys are saying it with me. And then what did Timothy say was on the left side? Left is going to be, so we have our 12 up here, we have our 6 down here. What's going to be on the left side? I think he said it was 9. And then on the right side, so here's our clock so far, what's going to be over here on the right side? 3. Nice job. And then we just have to fill in our numbers in between. So we need a 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we've got our 12 up here. So I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so I've got all of my numbers drawn on my clock. Turn it so you can see it better. All right, so I've got 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the top. And then I wrote o'clock underneath my 12 so that I remember when that big hand, the minute hand, is pointing up at the 12, I say o'clock, right? Okay, so next step, you're gonna take your construction paper and you can make your hands look like whatever you want. I chose to make them arrows. You can make them just a strip of like a rectangle. Just make sure that your rectangle or your arrows are 2 different sizes. We need a small one and a big one. The small one is the hour hand. The long one is the minute hand. So I labeled mine so that I don't forget. So you can write hour on the little one and minute on the big one if you want to do that, so you don't forget. Okay, so go ahead and pause and make your little clock hands real quick. Okay, so I've got my hands, I got my hour hand and my minute hand. I'm going to take those, put them together, and I made a little tiny hole in them so I can stick my brad through. If you don't have a brad, that's okay. I've also made a hole in the center of my clock there. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to line up my hole and stick my brad through. So I've got my brad through there. So then my hands will be able to turn. Now, if you don't have a brad, that's okay. You can just turn your hands with your hands, okay? So now we have our clock where you can turn the hands like this. Okay, so if our hour hand is over here at the 3 and our minute hand is pointing up, now we have what time? 3 o'clock, right? That's so cool. All right, now you're probably wondering why we have an extra plate underneath. Okay, so we're gonna use that plate to figure out, it's gonna be our little cheat sheet until we actually learn how to tell time. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut slits. Watch me first. We're going to cut slits. So you're gonna lift up the top plate. You're gonna cut a slit. Let's move that hand out of the way so I don't cut the hand. Whoops. You're gonna cut slits around each number. Don't cut all the way because it's glued in the middle, remember? So you're gonna cut slits around each number so that we can lift it up. It's like a lift up tab. And then we're gonna write numbers underneath each one. So underneath o'clock, underneath the 12, we're going to write 0, 0, because when you write out the number, so if it's 3 o'clock, let me write it down on this paper here. So if you're writing 3 o'clock, then it's 3, 0, 0. If you're writing 3:30, then it looks like this. So underneath the 6, we're going to write 30. Now, all of the numbers in between count by 5s. So when you're telling time, if you finish watching the video, which I'll send your parents the link, if you finish watching the video, each number you count by 5s. So underneath the 1, we're going to write 05. Underneath the 2, we're going to write 10, and then 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then o'clock, okay? So we have 60 minutes on the clock, okay? Timothy, in the video, he's going to explain it, and you're gonna learn all about it, okay? But we're gonna finish the clock, and then you can finish watching the video, okay? So I'm gonna finish my clock, I'm gonna finish cutting all of my slits, and then write all of my numbers so I can show you. Okay, I've finished cutting all of my slits. So each number has a slit. 1 is 05, 2 is 10, 3 is 15. Okay, so we're counting by 5s. You all know how to count by 5s. You are experts at it, and your report cards show that you're experts at it. Okay, so if we have the minute hand is pointing up, the hour hand is pointing at the 4, what time is it? 4 o'clock, right? But then if that minute hand goes down, remember Timothy shared with us that the minute hand, when it's pointing down at the 6, and our hour hand is halfway in between a number, right? We can peek. What's it gonna be? 30, something 30, right? So we have, it's in between the 1 and the 2, So we have 1:30. It's amazing, right? You guys are gonna know how to tell time before you know it. So have your parents finish watching that video with you and help you make your clock. And I'm gonna be sending out some awesome worksheets that you guys can complete as well, okay? You're gonna be experts, I know it. All right, have fun with your clocks and telling time. And next time I see you, I know you guys are gonna know how to tell time. Bye, guys.